for Donkey of the Day.
Donkeys of the Day, ask Charlamagne.
I'm a Democrat, so being Donkey of the Day is a little bit of a mixed blessing.
So like a donkey. Hee-haw. Okay.
Donkey of the Day.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Now, I've been called a lot in my 23 years, but Donkey of the Day is a new one.
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Thursday, May 7th goes to a 24-year-old Caucasian man named Anthony Trifaletti. Okay, warning, the mayonnaise is heavy on this one. And I know the smell of Hellmann's in the morning is nauseating for quite a few of us. Personally, I'm allergic. Let's just get right to it. Anthony has been charged with murder and a road rage shooting after getting into a verbal altercation with a black man, a brother named Doug Lewis. Rest in peace to Doug Lewis. Condolences to his family. May Allah be pleased with him. Now, Doug's sister Valerie told the Star Tribune that her brother Doug was a father of four who made a living as a delivery driver for 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Amazon, and DoorDash. That means he was an essential worker. Okay, the type of person that is truly making the world go around during this global pandemic. If your house is anything like mine, if your wife is anything like mine, then it's a damn Amazon box on the step all the time. Okay, thank you to all the Amazon delivery folks out there. You are appreciated. DoorDash is an absolute godsend during a time like this. People got to eat. Okay, and 1-800-GOT-JUNK at a time like this when people are at home quarantined, you do a lot of cleaning, you find a lot of things you don't want. I'm thankful that these folks are still coming to pick things up and take them away from your house at a time like this. Salute to 1-800-GOT-JUNK, all right? Thank you to the essential workers who work at all of these places. You are valued and appreciated. And this morning, St. Paul, Minnesota is down a man because of Anthony Trifaletti's fear of the black man. Now, I hate rehashing these stories. I hate talking about these stories. I hate seeing these stories. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. I have personally been holding up pretty well. I hope you are too. I have actually been rather calm during this whole coronavirus quarantine. I have learned to do something my therapist has been telling me to do for the past couple of years, and that's lean into the uncertainty of life. Stop stressing over things you can't control. I, for whatever reason, have embraced that concept and detached myself from this situation. And I have not had one anxiety attack. But all of that changed this week when that video of the young brother, Ahmed Aubrey, came out. I didn't watch that video because I know my trauma triggers, but I've heard what happened. And the thought of that triggers what I have told my therapist is blackanoia. I am a very blackanoid individual. What is blackanoia, Charlamagne? What do you mean you're blackanoid? Well, blackanoid is when you are black and paranoid in America. The paranoia that comes with just existing. All right, think about that. My presence, just me showing up in everyday life can cost me my life, okay? I will never, ever understand why someone can simply hate me because of the color of my skin, why someone can fear me just because of the color of my skin. Why am I such a threat to you? Okay, regular, smegular, everyday things that white people can do and go on about their day with could cost me my life, okay? Think about it. Ahmed Aubrey was jogging. He's an athlete. He's quarantined. High school football star. Taking care of himself, going for a run. Doug Lewis, essential worker. Rear-ended Anthony's truck. Minor fender bender, according to city pages, okay? The accident occurred near the intersection of Highway 61 and Burns Avenue in St. Paul. The two drivers pulled onto exit and they exited their vehicles. Anthony, the murderer, took pictures of the damage to his pickup truck and later told the police that the two men started arguing when he tried to get Lewis's insurance information. See, I hate stuff like this because Doug's not even here to tell his side of the story. But he told police, Anthony did, that they started arguing, right? And now here comes the mayonnaise. This is when the dukes get spread thick. All right, Anthony and his friend, because his friends were following him, his friend said they heard Doug Lewis say, "I'm a GD." That's what Anthony and his one friend said. They said they heard Doug Lewis say, "I'm a GD." Now, Anthony and his friend said they didn't know what that meant, but they took it to mean he was a gang member. Now, mind you, other witnesses said they didn't hear Doug say that, but you can smell the Kraft Real mayo on this. You heard Doug say he was a GD, but you claim to not know what that is, but you think it meant he was a drug dealer. Anthony, if you don't shut the F up forever, if you don't know what GD is, and someone said that to you, "I'm a GD," you should have asked him. Okay, if you truly didn't know what that was, you would have exhibited the cluelessness Caucasians usually do when it comes to cultures other than theirs, and just asked him if GD was the name of his insurance company. Okay, you knew exactly what you was doing when you told the police that. You was trying to paint a picture of this essential worker, all right? This essential worker with dreadlocks. He was trying to paint the picture of him as a thug, okay, to justify what your punk ass did next. See, Doug Lewis and Anthony both got back in their cars. Doug pulled out first, and Anthony says he unintentionally followed behind him. So Doug put his car in park and got out to say, well, what's up? What's going on? Anthony grabbed the firearm he was permitted to carry and fired at Doug 4 times. Then he drove off as witnesses called 911 and tried to stop Doug Lewis's bleeding. Okay, an ambulance delivered Doug Lewis to Regents Hospital, where he was declared dead a few hours later. Anthony called his dad, told his dad what happened, and Anthony's dad told him to return to the scene of the crime. When he got back to the scene of the crime, he told police he feared for his life because Doug was reaching for his waistband as he approached the truck. Police say Doug Lewis was unarmed. Then Anthony said he left the scene in case he hadn't extinguished the threat. I'm glad his brother Doug Lewis didn't have a gun because it shows he wasn't a threat. But I wish he did have a gun because then maybe, just maybe, he might still have his life. Just like I wish Ahmaud Arbery had a gun when he ran into those 3 white thugs, those 3 white goons in Georgia. Okay, my brothers, my sisters, if you listen to your Uncle Charlotte at any point during this mental health awareness month, if I give you any, tools or tips that help with your mental health, please listen to this one. When I tell you that when you are Black, owning a legal firearm in America is a form of self-care. It just is. It's better to get caught with it than get caught without it. I would much rather be in jail for defending myself than be in someone's funeral home laid up in a casket, okay? Now, Anthony is being held in Ramsey County Jail on a $1 million bond. Why do I got to drop on the clues bomb for that? Drop on the clues bomb for that. Okay? Thank you, St. Paul, for not letting this man's white skin be a get-out-of-jail-free card. All right? He's been charged with second-degree murder and is facing a maximum penalty of 40 years in prison. It's a shame that I have to say thank you to the police in St. Paul, Minnesota, for doing what they are supposed to do. You shoot a man 4 times for no damn reason other than you were afraid, other than you were scared, and because you thought he was a gangbanger. That's a personal problem that you have to deal with, okay? You made the wrong call, so you should have to pay for that, period. But we see all too many times that's not how America works because mayonnaise is truly America's favorite condiment. And usually guys like Anthony have the complexion for the protection, but not this time. So let's all pray for justice for Doug Lewis. Let's pray for Doug Lewis's family. And let's pray that Anthony gets every bit of 40 years. Please let Chelsea Handler give Anthony Trifoletti the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
Yeah, man. I get traumatized when I hear these stories. I get traumatized when I see these things because trauma changes everything. It messes with every aspect of your thought process and functioning, And you can just be absolutely triggered by these situations. So rest in peace to Doug Lewis. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery.
All right.
And remember, as a Black person in America, owning a gun is a form of self-care. A legal gun.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey of the day.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.